really excited about our next speaker, but I kind of just want to get a feel for the people in the room. How many people started coding or started developing in the past 5 years? 5 years? Oh, lots of people who are relatively new to coding. What about 7 years? 8 years? 9 years? 10 years? Okay, now it's gonna 11. I see someone going 12. Anyone 15 years been coding? 15 or more. If you've been 15 years or more, put your hand up. All right. Put your hands down if it's 14. 13. Sorry, no. I can't count. 16, sorry, 16 years. Well, the next speaker has actually been writing code and been an entrepreneur on the web for 17 years, right? They are an expert in web components, and unlike their favorite Formula One team, unfortunately, they are also an expert in strategy. So, coming up, they're a Ferrari fan, just in case you're a Formula One fan. Coming up to talk about React Inline visual editing, the founder and lead front end of React Bricks, Matteo Frana. Let's give him a round of applause.
So, do you happen to create websites sometimes? I'm not talking about coding the next Facebook, but a boring website with a CMS. Raise your hands. OK. Well, I've been there, done that, and that's why I spent the last 4 years of my life making it less boring and much more exciting. I'm Matteo Frana, and I'm the co-founder and CTO of React Bricks. If you listen to this story, you will get a glimpse into a game-changing vision about content management, but you will also get a deeper understanding of this visual editing movement that we are witnessing today. In 2019, I started writing this article, The Shape of the CMS to Come. And if you are a jazz lover, you will see the nod to The Shape of Jazz to Come, which is a great avant-garde free jazz album by Ornette Coleman. And what was this article about? Well, it was about a problem. I wanted to move away from WordPress, and I couldn't find any CMS in the market that would make me happy. It is about the frustration of not being able to find something great for us as developers that was great for our customers too. And they wanted to find a solution to this frustration, because you see, we have a great power. We can code. But back then, I was always coding for customers, no time for side projects. And then the first lockdown in Italy came, and I had time to create an MVP that implemented the ideas of this article. By the way, you can still find at the end of this article the video of the very first MVP of React Bricks. Well, this MVP became a product, and this product is now being used by more than 8,000 users worldwide. And it powers the website of big corporates like Banca Mediolanum, a major Italian bank, Deal.com, the Weather Channel, and many more. By the way, also the website of React Brussels is created using React Bricks. But well, the first step in finding a solution, any solution, is to understand the problem. So why? Why on earth did you create another CMS? Didn't we have enough? Well, to answer, we need to go back in time. And we need to go back to when I started developing website in 1996. I used this tool, Hotdog Pro by Sausage Software, Who has ever used a tool like this to edit HTML? Wow, I expected less. Fantastic. Well, I'm happy for the other ones. But no, really, this was a very happy period of my life. I was 17, and I felt like a hacker. In about a couple of years, I learned HTML and JavaScript and Perl. And then during my first year of university, I learned how to set up a web server, mail server, DNS. We didn't have the cloud back then, you know. And well, you see, my career as a web developer has led me here, while my career at university ended 3 exams before I graduated. So if you are studying, don't do like me. Follow your dreams, but please, please finish those last 3 exams. And let's go back to the editor. How could my customers edit a website created in this way? Well, they sent an email, and website got updated. Magic. In the middle, there was me writing code using this guy. But everything changed with the front page. Ever seen front page? Dreamweaver, maybe? OK. With front page, we had the visual editing. It was a sort of port of Word or PowerPoint for the web. And it had also an FTP client to send the files to the server. And so customers wanted to have front page installed on their computer. Wow, we can change the website content without waiting for Matteo. And the reality is that they always came back to me before I could say front page. Why? Because they broke things. And they wanted me to fix it. And they didn't want to fix it because the code created by front page was a mess. It was a real mess. So you see, visual editing, great for content editors, but not for the developers. Anyway, that era came to an end, and not because front page didn't work very well, but because customers started asking for more complex websites. So they wanted a product catalog, restricted areas, e-commerce systems. And so CGI came. With CGI, you created a script running on a server that will create the HTML for you based on data on a database. So that customers could use this beautiful gray form to do the data entry, and then the script created the HTML for you. So you see, in this way, everything is structured. You cannot break things, which is great. But content editors lost the visual editing that we had with the front page. So we are starting seeing a pattern here, right? And so fast forward to the real CMSs, Joomla, and then WordPress. And now imagine the blank WordPress page where you can create freely. And well, the customer could leverage this freedom to create something epic like this. I don't know if you can stare at this for more than 10 seconds, but well, I could not, and so this is not great for developers. And I quickly installed Advanced Custom Fields, which is a beautiful plugin of WordPress to get back our beloved gray forms. All structure, all good for us, and not for content editors. And so, you see, we always have visual versus structured. We have freedom versus constraints. And for us, this means chaos versus order. But for the editors, this means easy versus complicated. This is the why. This is why we need something new today. Because I believe that we can have something which is great for us as developers and is great also for content editors, for an agency and its customers. In a company, I believe that we can have the development team and the marketing team working together as one team. And well, in 2019, I saw the same exact pattern. On one side, the visual tools like Wix or Webflow, and on the other side, headless CMSs. And visual tools are great, but they are a no-go for a corporate website. Because you see, for example, with Wix is not flexible enough because we don't want to pick the website template we love. We need to implement the pixel-perfect corporate image. of our company or of our customers. On the other side, we have Webflow, which is much more complete, much more flexible. It is too flexible. Because when the editors start to understand how they can tweak those margins and paddings, they can get creative, and they can break the design. And then we have them. Yes, the headless CMSs. What are headless CMSs? Gray forms. Well, that's much more than this, I know. But in the eyes of content editors, they are gray forms. But we have the visual preview. Yes, I know, and you call it visual editing, but it's not. It's like writing a Word document in a sidebar and seeing the preview on the page after 1 second. So it's like using this strange word processor where instead of writing in the content, you write in the sidebar, and using it in a remote desktop with a poor connection. Is this what we want? Is this the apex of content management in 2023? I strongly believe not. We can do better. How? Well, to answer, we need to go back in time once again. This time, we need to go back to when we were children. What did we use to build things when we were children? Yes, Lego bricks. Lego are the solution. How's that? Well, you see, with Lego bricks, you can create anything, but you cannot change the single Lego brick. So you cannot ruin the design of the atomic Lego brick. You can use a design system to create something new without breaking the design system. What could we want more than this? Well, there is a little thing. Sometimes when we play Lego, we have this black Lego brick, and we would like it to be red. So it would be great if we had a button on the Lego brick to change the color. Well, currently, we cannot do it with Lego bricks, but with React bricks, well, yes, we can, because we have props, right? So this is what I envisioned 4 years ago. Lego bricks of content implemented as React components, and just React. No need to go back and forth between your code and the headless CMS to add one field just because the editor needs to add one paragraph. The adding fields to a headless CMS is not the best use of our time, right? And so we come to the what, the practical side. How can we turn Lego bricks into React components? So we have this concept of visually editable content blocks, which are React components using the React bricks library. And we call them bricks, of course. And bricks are made up of 2 parts. In the JSX of your component, you can use our visual editing components like text, rich text, image, repeater, etc. And these enable the visual editing magic. For what is not directly editable, for example, a background color, a padding, you can define sidebar controls. So in your component, there is a schema property where you can define sidebar controls. And of course, the value of these controls will become props of your component so that you can conditionally render based on these props. But it's not like Webflow, where you have any prop in the CSX spectrum. You define exactly what control you want, of what type, and with the values that you want. So in this case, I just want the editor to be able to change the background color, and it can be white or yellow. Well, these bricks are shared between the front end and the admin interface, and this doesn't happen with some strange syncing function. It's just that you host the admin project together with the front-end website, and you host it wherever you want. So in your project, there is also the admin folder. And this is what enables the visual editing magic, because what you see in the admin is what you should get in the front end, of course. And data is saved as structured data in our APIs. And how does it work? Well, in the schema, you define also a block type. And you can imagine that in our APIs, for example, for a page, the structure is an array of blocks, each with its ID, block type, and the props. So the library can match the content on APIs with your design system based on the block type. So now, demo time. Let's see it in action. Well, this is a project just scaffolded with the CLI, and it's using Next.js. React works with Next.js, Gatsby, or Remix. Now I'm already logged in, so I can click on the Edit button. And you see on the left, I have the pages, so very easy. I can click on the content. This with the pink border is a brick, so it is a React component. Let's add a new one. So let's get a hero unit, this horizontal hero unit. And here I can directly write, welcome to React Bricks Brussels. I can apply styles, in this case, just highlight, because this rich text defined that here I can use just the highlight. Here, for example, I can use the bold. And for the sidebar props, let's change the background color. But you see, what you see here on the right is not defined by React Bricks. It's defined by your component. If I add another component, so let's add, for example, a customers list, you see that in this case, I have this grayscale checkbox to make the logos colored or grayscale. And for the background color, I have just 4 colors to choose from. We have the concept of bricks inside of bricks. As you can see, you can repeat bricks inside of bricks. Here, you can choose left or right for the image. For images, if I want to replace an image, I can upload, get from a splash, from URL, or from the library. Let's change the image. Let's go to these stock images here. You see that this image is already used in 2 pages, so you have all the references, and I can see the crop. So this image is already cropped and flipped, because it's used in this way in the About Us. Let's get it. And you see that I get the flip already. Of course, I can change it. I can rotate and flip. OK. And so now let's expand it a bit, and let's save. When you save, at upload time, images get optimized by the React Bricks servers. To show you that we can use bricks inside of bricks, let's say great for, and it's great. Let's add features, 1, 2, 3, 4. Of course, this is great for us as devs. So you see I can write here, and I can apply the props for each of these. Of course, this is great for designers, because nobody breaks the designs. And as we'll see, it's great also for the enterprise. So now, let's remove the hat of the editor. We saw how easy it is for the editor, and let's wear the hat of the developer. So let's see how this works in code. Let's add a very simple brick, a custom hero unit, this one. This is very simple. We have an image. Let me get from a splash just an image. This one, which is in Italy, by the way. So lake. You see that I can crop just as a square, and we will see why in 1 second. Then I have a simple text. Here I cannot apply any styles, and here a text where I can apply some styles. On the right, I have just big or small padding to change the vertical padding. And let's see the code for this brick. So here is the Next.js project with the admin folder. We don't have time to go into details. On Tuesday, there will be the workshop. Here we have the bricks folder with the React Bricks UI, which are pre-made bricks, the ones that I showed you that you can use to play with React Bricks. Then you will throw them away and create your own bricks to implement your own corporate image. And so we have this custom folder where we have our hero unit. You should be familiar with this because it's just a React component. You see that we are importing the visual editing components from React Bricks. So here we have the image with the aspect ratio fixed at 1. In this case, this is why I could crop only as a square. Then I have a text with its render function. So you see, also migrating to React Bricks is very easy because you have your code, you have your H1, you just take it and you put it into the render function of the text component. For a rich text, you can define all the rich text features that you want. For example, you see we can have also headings, order list, unorders list, etc. And you can provide a render function for everything. For example, for the bold, I don't want the standard B tag, so I just create my function. Oh, sorry. You wrote the image. And I want a B tag. But let's make it a bit more visible. So let's apply class name, text pink 500. Oh, here I'm using Tailwind, but Bricks is CSS agnostic. It works with any CSS frameworks, no CSS framework at all, CSS in JS, with anything. So now you see that when I apply the bold style, I have this beautiful pink. So you can manage everything that is directly editable, images and text, and rich text. For the sidebar controls, you see here we have the schema. And in the schema, we have the name of the brick, other things, and then we have the side edit props. Side edit props is an array of collapsible group of props, or like in this case, it's just a single prop padding. And it is of type select. You can choose many different types, number, date, text, rich text, etc. You can also use custom, and in this case, I can provide my own component. It's a simple value on change interface, so you can provide your own components for the sidebar too. For a select, I can display it as a select, a radio, or color. Let's change it to radio. And then I have the options. You can also have in async get options to get data from an external database if you want an external API. It's very flexible. And of course, I get this padding here as a prop, and I use it to conditionally render. So if I reload now, you see that this control now is a radio button. So this is the very basics of React Bricks. There's much more. There's the ability to reuse content across pages using stories, embed, and entities, like, for example, we do here to manage in a visual way header and footer. There is the ability to get content from external sources. So, for example, here for this Pokemon, I'm getting the content from the Pokemon API. Now we don't have time. I just wanted to show you how easy it is. And just one last thing, I want to add a new brick very quickly, just to show you that we have a great plugin for VS Code, so that we have the snippets. So creating, let's say that this is a gallery, and then I want to add a rich text, so rich text, very easy, this is the description, and then I want to add a side edit prop to the controls, side edit prop, okay, and this is the color. So it's really fun and easy. So you leverage your React skills, you save time, and it's also the best use of your time, because you're not adding fields to an headless, you're actually creating a design system, which is much more fun. And for the editors too, you see, it's like if they can use Word or Pages, they can use React Bricks. So it's also the best use of their time, because they don't have to learn a new tool. They use their time to actually create content. So I'd like just to tell you about a bit about the journey of creating React Bricks, the challenges that some of the challenges that we had. And well, the first one, what's the most difficult thing in web development after naming things and caching validation? CSS, of course. So you see, in your website, we have our admin interface, which has its own styles. And inside, we have your content, your bricks, with their styles. How can we decouple these styles? There is just one way, iframes. So we have two levels of iframes, and we have to copy the styles from your website to the inner iframe. And the styles are not stable, especially with CSS in JS. So we need to sense when something changes and bring in the styles with a sort of double buffering to avoid the flash of unstyled content. Another problem is the bundle size, because you see, in your component, you use our text, rich text, image, etc., which have this beautiful editing interface, but we don't want the overhead of this editing interface inside the front-end bundle, of course. And so here we use a low-level Barba trick to make sure that in the front end you have just a slim serializer for these visual editing components. So it's not a problem, the fact that we have all of this visual editing interface. Another thing, a problem that is still here for the bundle size, but really in practice is not affecting the current websites, is that if you have many, many bricks, they end up in the front-end code. And really, these bricks, for the most part, are not interactive at all. So they are great candidates for server components. Server components are coming. And we have already a project, an e-commerce, that is using Next 13 with React bricks and with server components. They will be generally available soon, so stay tuned. Now, just a final note. React bricks is not just another page editor. It is a world-class enterprise CMS. So it's great for startups, but also for corporates, and we wanted it to be great also for enterprises. So we implemented all the features that an editor could want, like collaboration, localization, scheduled publishing, a complete digital asset management, advanced SEO, etc. And for developers and for the needs of corporates in general, we have the ability to get external data from, for example, an headless e-commerce like Shopify or Swell, have multiple environments, fine-grained permission, approval workflow, and much more. So you can have the features that you need when you need them. So it's like having an Alfa Romeo that you can turn into a Ferrari when you need it. By the way, we are Italian. So if it sounds interesting to you, please check out React bricks and tell me what you think. But the most important thing is, when you will check out any content management system, see what's best for you as developers and what's best for the content editors, for you and your customers, for you and the marketing team. If at least one of you is changing their mind, maybe before you were like, OK, we have the headless CMSs, we have the visual preview, so content editors should not complain. And now you're more like, OK, we are in 2023. We can provide our editors with a better user experience like that of Word or Pages, which are there since the 80s. If at least one of you is sharing this idea, my talk will then be worth it. You will also discover that making the life of the marketing team easier, you will also have the best development experience for you. Today, I'm not frustrated anymore, because I know that together we can change the way people edit websites, making content editing fun again. Thank you.